Good morning. I know that it says that this is the time for the special music, so before you panic, I'll go ahead and tell you that no, the board is not here to bring the special music this morning. We just wanted to bring you some information about the efforts to sell the current facility and to purchase another larger facility for the congregation. And y'all know it's a roller coaster ride. There's good news, there's bad news, but we wanted to let you all know what's going on. So I'm gonna bring you some of the part that's not so good this morning, but then there's some good news to go along with it. You may have heard that we had an offer on the building. You may have heard that we had 2 offers on the building. Well, as of this morning, we're back down to 0, okay? But that's the way it goes sometimes. The first offer was not a real lucrative offer. We held on to it. We thought it was up as high as it was going to go. We held on to it until we got the other one. The second offer was very good. We countered it with some minor changes. And the party that was making the second offer, though, they just literally changed their mind and backed out. And so in the process of that, the first offer had kind of expired on its own. So we're doubling back on that. We're going to try and re-engage that party in some negotiations. You all know that we've got a real estate agent, Jonathan Quinn, working with us now. So none of this is really disheartening. I think that things are going to happen. So it's all part of the process. Now, if you want to count that as bad news, that was bad news. But Lars is going to tell you about some very exciting news and some things that we've got coming up.
Thank you, Steve. I can't tell you how many have come to me and to all of us wanting to know what's going on, what have you found, where are we going to go, that kind of thing. Well, we've been working real hard because if there's an offer on this building, we don't feel like we can come to the congregation and say, we have this offer, we'd like you to consider approving this offer, but we don't know where we're going. So we've been looking real hard, and what we found, right now we have actually 4 properties that are possibilities. The fourth one may or may not be. We're still trying to get access to it. But the first 3 are very exciting. Now, next weekend, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this in a minute. Next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are going to make these facilities open and available for everybody in the church who would like to come by and tour the facilities. So you'll know where we've been looking, what we've been looking at, and the type of structures and facilities that we found. A couple things that the board has found, and Steve can chime in anytime if he wants, or anybody can, on these. We've had quite an education on purchasing properties. In the first place, Steve put it real nicely Friday when he said, this business isn't for weenies. And it's not. Secondly, we have found that $1 million, which is what we're prepared to spend, doesn't buy a whole lot of a church. When we first started this, I thought $1 million bought the Taj Mahal. Boy, was I wrong. The third thing we found out is that our initial emphasis and our initial direction we were headed was wrong. What that initial direction was is we were looking for a church or a facility where Covenant could move and we'd be good for the next 20 years. That's probably not going to happen. What we're looking at with buying $1 million facility is something that'll be a stepping stone, where again, in a few years, we'll probably outgrow it too and either have to move from it or to expand and enlarge that facility to where it'll be right for us. But all that having been said, we've got to do something. So that's where we're headed. So with all that being said, let me say that we've got these 3 facilities, and Steve has prepared a 2 pass outs for everybody to take with you today. They're going to be in the back in the narthex. You can pick them up as you're leaving. And they're the addresses, the price, and the financial scenario of all 4 of those facilities. The first 3 we will be looking at Saturday and Sunday. The fourth one we don't know yet. What I'd like to ask, though, is in the past when we've had facilities and we've made known, we've had members who have gone to those facilities and actually gone in them, talked to members and all that. That tremendously compromises our ability to negotiate what we're going to do, and actually is a big turnoff for people who are selling a facility. drive by them, that would be perfectly fine, but we'd like to ask that you please, unless we have a scheduled tour of that facility, please don't contact the people at that facility and go into those facilities, because that can cause us some problems and some issues. So please respect that, and let's all look at them at the same time and do that at their convenience. So we'll be doing that this coming Saturday. I think we're scheduled at 1:30. We have a second tour scheduled at 3:30, and that's all in the pass out. And then we have a tour scheduled after church next Sunday. That's all in the pass outs. Now, the board is going to hang here after the service and will be available for you to ask questions and to voice concerns if you'd like today. And then we're all available, of course, by telephone or email or any other way you want to get in contact with us during the week, preparing for our upcoming tour of these new facilities.
I think you've covered it. I would just add that remember the prayer vigil Friday night. You don't have to wait until Friday night to be in prayer about this. And pray expectantly. I think God's got great things in store for us. There's a lot of doors opening, and you know, God's the one that opens the doors. So we might look at some doors and say, oh gee, that's closed. You know, God's got the keys. So it's going to work out.
Thank you.